Barrios' only loss was to Tank.
Yeah.
Keith Thurman just beat Barrios. Why we can't see Thurman versus Tank?
I think that could possibly happen too, though. But they said Tank is. They said some of the fans are saying the Tank is running from like the real, like around his, he's running from him. Like, why we ain't seeing Tank and Devin, Tank and Shakur, Tank and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, matter of fact, that's perfect. You said that. Like, why is it that these fighters is only fighting once every 18 months? Does this all go back to promoters, or does it go back to the new age fighters that we're dealing with? Boxing, Tyson was fighting twice a year.
Politics, promoters, and politics. Because you got guys like, no hating, no offense to Floyd or Leonard Ellaby. They always saying like they're gonna dictate what like the course. They're going for the bag rather than the competition.
It's like some of these fighters' best years is wasting away. One fight in 2 years, one fight in 18 months, one fight in 11 months. It's like, this is like, I don't know. I remember when they was getting the best years, you should be out there getting it in. And it's like, we don't see none of these fights that we want to see now. Because like the promoters don't want to work with each other, or the fighters beef with the promoter. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you said, Shakur just signed to fight. He had a title shot with the champ in the featherweight division finally. So that's coming out at the MGM Grand. I see him winning that fight. And hopefully he moves up after that so we can see one of these fights eventually. A Haney Shakur, Tiafimo, one of these dudes or something. It's like, when are we going to see
him moving up? He's moving to 147.
It's like, when are we going to see Ryan Garcia Tank?
Tiafimo is in the same. He's in the 147. He's up there with Ugis and all of them.
Closest he got was Tank and Rolly, even though Rolly's not that big of a fighter or a name. We didn't even get that fight. It's like we can't get none of these fights.
Rolly was talking shit the other day. So Rolly, I think Tank and Rolly's coming up next.
Yeah, we need to see something like
Tank and Rolly's coming up next. I think Tank next fight is against Rolly. Rolly, you said Rolly got the charges dismissed or whatever.
When's the last time you seen Ryan Garcia in the ring?
He got a fight coming up too, right? But they said the dude he's fighting some is garbage.
It's like, are these dudes Instagram boxers? It's like
Ryan might be. Ryan definitely might be. Ryan's hype.
These fighters aren't active enough. Like, they're not active enough.
Ryan is Jake Paul's son.
Floyd was hot, mid-30s, fighting twice a year.
Look, I'm gonna just like this. Put it like this. Jake Paul got more money than Ryan Garcia, bro.
Hey, that's capital. That's where we live in. So
look, bro. Jake Paul fighting more than the other boxers is boxing.
Yeah, he is at this point. That's why he deserves to get that money. He deserves. He's fighting dudes. You know what's funny? He's fighting dudes when they had Jake Paul versus Woodley. People was looking like, damn, Woodley gonna kill Jake Paul. So it's not like he's just fighting people that people think he's gonna run over. You know what I mean? These boxers is fighting nobody. They're professional boxers, and we only seen them once every 8 years. It's like we haven't seen none of the fighters. But you know what they'll do, Batty? They'll go on the internet and they'll go on these YouTube channels or these interviews, and they'll talk shit about each other, but they'll never get in the ring. I don't care who you sign to, bro. Eventually, you're gonna be fight. We seen Tyson Lewis. We seen Riddick Bowe versus
Tyson Holyfield. Tyson, like, yeah.
And then they be like, oh, why we can't get the numbers? Why the heavyweights get the numbers? Because y'all be scared to fight each other. It's like, come on. Shit is ridiculous.
That shit is ridiculous, bro.
$70 for a pay-per-view and wonder why their pay-per-view numbers are suffering.
Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't believe, bro. Could you believe that Keith Thurman and Barrios was pay-per-view?
That's what I'm saying. Who's buying that fight?
Who's buying that fight, bro?
Come on, man.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, yo, this is what y'all doing at PBC?
But let's break it down a little further, right, B? We just seen Barrios lose to Tank. That might have been a pay-per-view. That might have been on Showtime. I don't know if it's that pay-per-view, right? We just seen him lose to Tank, right? Didn't show us nothing special. We haven't seen Keith Thurman in 2 years. Last time we seen him, he gets beat by Pacquiao. Then y'all want us to pay for a returning fight off a head with a bum elbow against a fighter who lost off a body shot to Tank. Y'all want us to pay for the pay-per-view for those two fighters.
Yeah, what was it? I wonder what they charged. What did they charge? $19.99?
Yeah, $70. But B, it's like
they charged $70 for that fight.
This is what they began to wait with for this long. Like, I'm glad that they're not getting the numbers. I'm glad nobody's buying these fights. Nobody wants to see these fights. You know what I mean? And you know what it be? It be because people take fights and they see Cambosa beat somebody like a Tiafimo, and then the promoters be like, oh, I don't want to lose my fighter losing all his belts and all that against it, and then we don't get none of these fights. You know what I mean? Shit is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it is. Because now you got a dude from YouTube that's running boxing. You got a dude from YouTube that's running boxing that's actually promoting his own fights. He done made enough money. Well, he got his own boxes now. He got the shorty that got the first $1 million purse ever in women boxing fighting MSG.
Yeah, this shit.
And I'm gonna be real with you. You know who I'm really starting to like in the boxing world, man?
No.
As far as promoters is concerned, I would advise fighters to go fuck with Eddie Hearn, bro.
Yeah, and that's what I'm naming.
I like the way Eddie Hearn moves, bro.
I want to start naming this clip. You want to know about nobody buys boxing pay-per-views? Here's the reason. Click on this video. That's what I'm naming this. Since they want to know why nobody's buying these damn fights.